Yeah, no, like there's the people who actually created this class, they made the point saying like you need to spend some money. Like we have a blog called redbeardreport.com, and it's like they were like you need to spend money, like you need to pay for the domain, you need to pay for this because otherwise you're not. It doesn't seem like you're actually invested.
Yeah.
Which is like
it's like you're halfway in it. Like
yeah. Like, I kind of like I have a Wix page, but like it's just kind of sitting there, and I haven't actually I've never paid for anything on it, and it's just like www.wix.blah, then you have your old spiel at the end. But I think there's several business owners, and like this might not be the best example, but like lawn care people and like those small jobs, like if you see someone who has like a website, and like the guy who does my brother's yard, he has a website, and so I was immediately like, dude, go with this guy. Like clearly has some form of ambition. Like he has some form of organization. He has like he understands business to an extent,
and put prices on there, even if it's an hourly rate. Because I know it might be hard on a yard. You could break it up, I guess, 0 to a half acre, acre to 1.5 acres, this much money, or just put $20 an hour or whatever you want to put up there, just to give people some idea of what your prices are, and then a phone number.
Exactly, and that's probably a huge one to me because like I'll always call somebody. Like if I see a phone number, I'm gonna call them and talk to them, as opposed to. But like if you don't have a website, or if your website's like there's no website that checked, I'm trying to call the person. There's no number anywhere, or if there's a number, I can't. It doesn't actually reach anything. And that's just completely frustrating. So do you guys, for y'all school here, do you guys have like a set script you guys use, like WordPress or anything for the website?
Yeah, we were on. I don't know a whole lot about the website side of it, but I know we're based on WordPress, and I think he's made a lot of changes since he's been here. I don't know if he's switched platforms altogether or not, but as far as I know, it's still WordPress.
I didn't think about the fact that you literally have a website guy. And that's not you, so I'm not going to bother you with that question. All right, so a minute ago you mentioned getting the name out, like having it on top of everything. So how important do you think... so this whole class I'm on right now is about market research. So I'll ask you another question about market research in a second. But with brand recognition, because I think brand recognition is huge. I mean, like most of the things people buy in general, I feel like has to do with brand recognition almost. And most that's you market it so hard that like when you see that brand, like I kind of trust that brand because I've seen it everywhere. Like it must be a good thing. Yeah. So that's why I bought these shoes. But like how important do you think brand recognition is, and how do you feel like you should build that brand recognition?
Did you hit the record button again?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you hit stop just a minute.
Oh, no, we're good. That's all right. I split it up a minute ago, and I just tap.
I got
so.
Yeah.
We're actually missing a whole segment of the interview right now.
Make sure you don't visit. So,
I appreciate you looking out for me.
So brand recognition is huge. For us at Wesleyan, I mean, we have an entire brand book that lays out fonts and specific colors. So, we have rules around what you can do with the logo, what you can't do. And I think that's
interesting.
I think that's vital because there's nothing to me more unprofessional looking than when you have your main logo and then you have another branch of your company that uses same logo but different color, or a piece of the logo, and then you've got just a mixed up mess everywhere. But I mean,
zero consistency in the company. Period. Yeah,
which just looks unprofessional. People go back to the classic example all the time with like Coke and Nike with just the swoosh, something as simple as that, but it's recognized worldwide. Yeah. And so they've done an excellent job of brand recognition. Some people will buy stuff simply because they like the logo so much. Yeah. Like Fox Racing is a good example. People like the Fox Head logo. They'll buy stuff just because they like the logo. Right. It's just a simple logo, but people like that. So that's I think that's definitely vital as well to have consistency and that your employees know about that consistency, so you don't have just a rogue group of people who are going out changing colors or warping it up or something to where it's not recognizable. Right.
All right, so the class is about market research, like I said. So brand recognition, social media, all those things, how do you implement market research here at the college? And like how would you guys, because I mean, like, you're trying to reach not just college kids, but there's probably a portion of it where alumni, where you're trying to help them stay connected with the college, and then parents, you want to see them stay connected with the college to help support their kids and things. So like, how do you guys market differently, and how do you like look at how you're going to market? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So as far as how we gauge that, I can only speak from my perspective because I'm not entirely sure how alumni does. I know they try every year at graduation. I know they're trying to collect email addresses on graduates so they can stay in touch with them, throughout the years.
Right.
From my perspective, like to see, so if I'm pushing a post out on social media that specifically targets prospective students, and then I push another one out that's targeting parents, and then I push another one out that's targeting current students, or just keeping current students engaged. I pull monthly metrics as a whole, but if I want to see specifically, like, is this resonating with prospective students, I can go into Facebook and pull the metrics on that and see what kind of engagement we got. Or if I want to see, like, is this activity or this particular video or picture keeping a current student engaged? Like, do they like the content? I can go in and see the comments and view the engagement that I have for that specific group. So I
you're
can
seeing
see
like what's actually working, what's not.
Yeah, so I can see what works with each audience, and then build on that in future content.
That's interesting. I guess I've only reached like the personal side of Instagram and stuff, so I never like pulled. Who's actually watching these things?
A whole business side to it.
Yeah.
Just to be able to see, what works and what doesn't work. Because really, you can put 3 really good posts out a week on Instagram that have huge engagement.
Right.
Or you can put out 50 a week that your audience just doesn't care about.
Right, because you see it's getting blown up now.
Yeah, so it's quality versus quantity. Right. So quantity isn't always the answer. You really want to shoot for quality. So if you're putting information out there that your audience doesn't care about, what are you accomplishing? You're not really accomplishing anything with social media, because the whole point is to get your audience engaged and build brand recognition and build like a loyal following from your audience. So that's one thing to consider also.
Yeah, definitely. Let's say, something you just said just sparked something in my head. All right, so like the other day I was at my brother played a basketball game here, and Steven was out here taking photos, and so like, and then he came back and he said that he took a photo from the game and it had like the highest highest viewing or involvement.
So I like I said, I pulled metrics on this stuff, so I posted that post at 7 o'clock that evening. The next morning when I got here, I was looking through it about 8:30 that morning, and I noticed that it had a ton of engagement. So people liking and commenting on the Instagram post. So I pulled the metrics. So I was curious because I noticed how many likes it had gotten. So I pulled the metrics on that, and I can drill it down by the last 6 months, the last year, the last 2 years, and engagement as a whole it calculates your comments, your likes. Facebook calculates engagement a little different. It includes shares, comments, likes, and I noticed that the picture that we posted of the president playing basketball
and a single free throw to win the game. I'm just talking. I'm not saying anything bad.
and other.
He's not a professional, so
other faculty and staff playing that really hit hard, like really resonated with our audience, which is parents, current students, prospective students, just people from the general public. And it was by 8:30 the next morning, it was already the 4th most engaging post that we had in the past 6 months. And I checked it yesterday, and it's now climbed to the 2nd most engaging post we've had in the past year, which is pretty huge.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and that's huge just because I just posted it Tuesday, so it hasn't even had that much time to build engagement, because people will still go back.
Go back and check it periodically.
Yeah, past posts and engage with them. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. So like, how does that? So like, seeing all that information, right? Like the engagement from like seeing the professors and the teachers and the staff and who all and the president involved, just playing basketball. And obviously there was a bunch. I don't know if you took any photos of people in the stands, but the stands are pretty packed. Which I was very surprised by a faculty game, because I was like, I guess it was a fundraiser of some sort. But how does that affect like you moving forward, taking photos, posting on Instagram? How is that gonna affect you making those decisions on like what's really worthwhile? Because you could just go my college will go out and just take a photo of the campus, which we have a gorgeous campus, and so I'm like, oh, it's always really nice to go. Just kind of resonates with me to be like, I remember walking down there. So it was cool. But like, how does that affect you making your decisions for future photos?
Yeah. So that completely reinforces what I've been thinking all along, is that we need to get Dr. Clark, our college president, more involved on social media. So get him out there more, because he is a very involved president. You'll always, and I think me and you talked about this in the past, you'll always see him like out on campus, and he goes on tours with students. He's interacting with our current students. He eats lunch in the cafeteria almost every day and interacts with students. So that sort of stuff, capturing that to put out on social media to show that he's not up here and students are down here, and they never get to see him. That he's actually down on their level, interacting with them. Yeah. And that kind of stuff resonates. People like to see that he's personable and that he's approachable, and the fact that he was out there playing basketball was just cool to see, because you used to win the game, but still, because you used to seeing him dressed up suit and tie. Right. You wouldn't expect to see him out there playing basketball. So it was just cool to see him get involved with other faculty and staff. And we'll still mix in, we have a really beautiful campus here too, so we'll still mix in. Not as pretty as Guilford's, but so I'm just very biased. We'll still mix in photos of campus and photos of students in the classroom and stuff like that, and that kind of stuff. You just gotta have a good mix of that. Yeah, shifting around for various groups and everything. I actually think that's really cool, because I feel like leadership in a company defines the brand. Because there was a guy who came and spoke to our group when I was in college, and he talked about like inverted pyramid. Have you ever heard and so it's like, the guy at the bottom who's the head is actually the one who serves all the people above. I feel like it's cool if Dr. Clark's going out and meeting with people and sitting down and I only come on the campus periodically to see my brother or wait for my wife, but I always see him for some reason. I think he's probably always out and about, but it's like cool to kind of see a president just talking to people, even if it's another professor or whatever, just out and about, period, because a face seen is better than a face tucked away in an office. And so I think that's like says a lot about NC Wesleyan, but like just brand building in general is, hey, look, if you're out and involved and you're like loving people and serving people, like it goes a lot farther than people may think it does. Exactly. So, all right, so let's say, so earlier we talked about you coming through college and finally going to the state treasury department and all that stuff as marketing was really coming along, like social media, not just marketing, but because obviously marketing's kind of evolved from like in presidential campaigns back in the day, like when marketing really kicked off, I feel like for it was like FDR, because he was a good looking guy, like he ended up winning solely because actually could see his face for the first time on TV. He probably had good policies too, I don't know, but I know that's a big part of it. So like since you've come along and since seeing social media grow, like how have you seen